Have you ever had a time in your life when you realized that something you had believed for possibly your entire life just wasn't true? A moment when clarity set in and you almost sat and laughed at yourself with the stupidity you were believing. Pretty much as far back as I can remember, I had this unfortunate belief. You want to know what it was? It was that God was an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God, that He was everywhere all at once. Ultimately the king of everything good. Sounds like a correct belief, right? But the error in my thinking was a belief I had somehow attached to it. You see, I believed the devil was pretty much all of those things too, yet he was evil. I had this general perspective set way back in the deep constructs of my spiritual brain that led me to believe that the devil was almost an equal to God, just one good and one bad. But a few years ago, as I was in a time of study and prayer, it was as though an explosion went off in my mind as I began to realize the error in my thinking. It was a big error in my beliefs. How could this be? I had spent years on the mission field training pastors and doing prison ministry. I had been a deacon in my church. I had been an on-staff minister for discipleship and a worship leader. I was working in the Christian television world producing Christian content, and yet I had this completely faulted belief, and a belief that was limiting my ability to be used by God. I came to realize that the devil wasn't equal to God in all. In fact, he was nothing even close to God. You see, the way I saw it, the devil was more like a dog on a chain. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? The devil was like a big, scary, mean, aggressive, loud, and threatening dog. And when I least expected it, he was right there in front of me and making a whole lot of noise. In those moments, it was frightening and it feels as though you're done for. But the amazing thing we need to come to realize is that God has got him on a chain. Yeah, the devil has room to roam around and move, but he's limited. Yeah, he looks scary, but he cannot consume you. He is chained, and ultimately, he's controlled. In moments of heavy spiritual attack, we need to understand that the devil only has so much power. In fact, we know that all throughout scriptures, it talks about the fact that we do not need to fear him. Yet we find ourselves intimidated by his bark, scared by his teeth, and stressed about his aggressiveness. Yes, he wants to consume us, and he wants to make us feel weak. He wants us to feel depressed and lonely and unworthy, and he desires my complete and utter destruction. But oh, for the amazing, mighty, and glorious God that we serve. How good it is to know that we are overcomers in him. We are mighty in him. We are victorious in him. He's got the devil on a spiritual chain, and he is not letting him go. Yeah, I had a limited, faulted belief, and it was hurting me spiritually. But guess what? I'm not the only one. So do you. I can guarantee that no matter how deep your understanding of God is, you have faulty beliefs. No matter if you have a seminary degree, if you've been going to church your whole life, no matter how much you love God and how intimate your relationship is with him, you are faulted. You have something in your beliefs that need to change. I used to feel that it was a sign of spiritual weakness when I would realize I believed something that was wrong. I didn't like to admit it. But lately I've been recognizing the absolute beauty in new revelation and gaining understanding where I have holes and errors in my beliefs. I'm not talking about some extra biblical knowledge or revelation, but what's referred to in Ephesians 1:17, which says this, that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him. I've come to realize my desperate need and desire for continued growth in my walk with Christ. A walk so passionate and intimate that I'm learning new and exciting things about God on a regular basis and coming to grips with the fact that I'm heavily faulted. We all are. I think it's time for us to recognize that our seeking of God and who he is, that in that we should also have a passion to dig out all the junk in our beliefs that are wrong. These beliefs can be limiting and impact God's ability to work in our lives in the way He so desires. Can I challenge you to pray to God right now that He would begin to show you just even one mistruth you believe about Him? Imagine how freeing it could be in your life. I would love to hear from you if He does reveal something that you need to change. I'm praying with you that God will speak into your life in a special way today.